What's up, Rebels? Coach Jim here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the training and nutrition and trying out some of the exercises that Robert Pattinson used to get in shape for Batman. There was actually a lot that surprised me when I was researching this video, and it took a lot more twists and turns than I expected. So let's get into it. Alright, just like I mentioned in the Spider-Man workout video, I'd love checking out the workouts that celebrities go through in order to get ready for their roles. But I also take those workouts with a huge grain of salt and keep in mind that they might be incomplete or just flat out false. By that I mean it could be a workout that someone heard the celebrity went through, or it could be a killer workout that they didn't go through at all, but it makes them sound like they're really working hard for the role. And honestly, this is part of the marketing that gets people excited about the movie. No one wants to hear that Batman was just sitting around doing nothing. Case in point, while researching this video, I came across a 2020 GQ interview with Pattinson which said, "The film studio hired a trainer who left Pattinson with a Bosu ball, a single weight, and a sincere plea to use both. But right now, he says he's ignoring her." Robert continues with, "I think if you're working out all the time, you're part of the problem. No one was doing this in the 70s. Even James Dean, he wasn't exactly ripped." Now, he got some major flack for that statement, and before the movie was even complete, people were complaining about the preparation that he was putting in for the role. Again, the workouts that the celebrities go through are part of the hype and marketing. Now, I won't dive into the fact that the interview was done at the start of lockdowns, so let's cut the guy some slack. Also, there is insane pressure from Hollywood for any actor as they physically prepare for any role. That's talk for another day. Feel free to research what Channing Tatum has said on the subject recently. But it is a bit refreshing to hear a celebrity talk about aversions to working out. It's a normal thing to feel and say. Now, he actually had a shift in mindset as he was preparing for Batman and walked back some of those statements. And from that, there's a lot to learn for anyone, especially if you've had struggles working out. I'll touch upon that later in the video, so make sure to watch until the end. All of his previous interviews and statements aside, I think there's some solid exercise and food advice in Robert's prep. So let's get started with the exercises. All right, first thing that was reported was an ab circuit starting with 5 minutes of cardio. Not quite sure what that entails, maybe just a warm up. And then the exercises of bicycle crunches, dumbbell side bend, double crunches, and Superman holds. Now, there's no given sets or reps for this workout, but I take a guess that each exercise was north of 10 reps. Maybe the hold at the end was for 30 seconds or so. And I would assume that he'd maybe go through 2 or 3 times through this circuit and maybe do it 2 or 3 times a week. Now, it's clearly a lot of dedicated ab work, but it's understandable that he'd be focusing on his midsection for those shirtless scenes. Remember though that nutrition is going to make a bigger difference in how those abs look on camera. We'll talk about that later in the video. All right, next part of his workout plan, apparently he was running 5 to 10 kilometers 3 to 4 times a week. And now for some watching this video, that mileage might be nothing. For others of you, that might sound like a lot. But I think the big takeaway here is that he was moving. He was getting in his cardio so that he would look lean for the screen. And now, this much cardio though is not conducive to packing on size and muscle like Christian Bale and Ben Affleck did. He also said he's a fan of long walks as a way of relaxing his mind. Now, I love this. Not only for the fact that walking is great cardio for a lot of people, but for the fact that Robert uses it as a form of relaxation. I think this is a really underappreciated benefit of walking. It kind of becomes meditation in motion. And now I know it doesn't sound as cool as some insane 300-esque workout. Remember, the workouts are part of the movie marketing. But I'd highly recommend anyone to look to add walking into their routine. Look to get 5 to 10,000 steps a day. All right, next on the list, outdoor fitness. Now, this was really vague, but it said Pattinson was seen doing military-style sandbag routines on the beach. I assume he was doing this outside shirtless for the paparazzi, again, to increase the movie hype. So I don't know exactly what he did here, but judging by the pics, I'd guess squats, overhead press, and possibly curls. It even looks like he did some additional cardio with some sandbag running. Now, the exercise selection here is actually pretty good. It'll give you a total body workout. I might add some sandbag rows for a little bit more focused back work, but again, we've got a good routine here. And I'll take a guess and say this whole thing's close to the circuit style training that I did for the Spider-Man workout. So maybe 3 to 4 rounds through, reps a bit higher, maybe 8 to 12, little to no rest between the exercises, but then maybe 1 to 2 minutes rest between rounds. This kind of circuit is often a really good choice for those looking to maintain muscle mass while they're leaning out. It's also a really efficient option for actors who often have very little time to work out within their busy schedules. And the last thing on Pattinson's list, boxing. Now, I'll file this under the category of more cardio, and of course it's one that's a bit better suited for his role as Batman. Now, beyond that, I couldn't find a reliable source for any of the workouts he was actually doing. Now, I've seen a couple articles, which I won't share, that have just straight up ridiculous workout routines that Robert apparently did. Tons of sets and reps day in and day out. Now, if you're reading over an actor's superhero workout that would take you 3 hours to do, it's highly unlikely that the actor did it at all. I hate when this is done, as it gives useless and potentially harmful information to people out there. So, caveat emptor. On to nutrition. Now, nothing tremendously detailed here either. The most of what is said is that Pattinson had cut down on alcohol and significantly reduced his intake of processed meat and fried foods. All smart sound advice and nothing groundbreaking. To those watching this though, I'd also advise to see what you can add to your nutrition. Are you keeping well hydrated? Are you eating fruits and vegetables with most meals? And are you getting good sources of lean protein, either plant or animal based? You'll also need carbs. Your body needs them to fuel the workouts and also help preserve muscle. Now, Pattinson had said that his go-to meal consisted of oatmeal with like vanilla protein powder on it, and canned tuna with Tabasco sauce eaten straight out of the can. And now this brings me to my next warning. Whatever changes you make, look to make them interesting or sustainable, or you're gonna be like Robert, who also said, quote, "I never wanna see a piece of white fish with just a lemon on it ever again." Anyways, as I mentioned before, what I found really interesting though was Robert's mindset shift. Now, it was well known even before the GQ interview that Pattinson didn't like to exercise.
Are you starting to buff up for, who is it? Oh, Batman. Because you don't like exercise, if I recall.
He also mentioned in an Esquire interview that he suffered from body dysmorphia and anxiety. Quote, "I don't have a six-pack and I hate going to the gym. I've been like that my whole life. I never want to take my shirt off. I prefer to get drunk." So how did he turn the corner and start enjoying things? Well, as he was preparing for Batman, he said, "In every project I've ever taken on, I've come into it wanting to learn and to achieve new things. That's usually in the embodiment of a character and someone who has a different personality to me. But taking on a full physical transformation as well feels even more exciting." Now, reading this quote, I think in particular of The Lighthouse, where he's hauling wheelbarrows and dancing around and shoveling dirt. Great film, go see it. But even if you're not starring in Hollywood blockbusters or training to be Batman, you can still adopt that curious beginner's mindset too. To want to learn and achieve new things, to look for adventures, and realize that improving your health and fitness can actually open up more adventures too. That's powerful stuff. And if you're looking for some amazing adventures this summer, check out Camp Nerd Fitness. We're running it May 11th to the 15th off in the woods of Georgia. You'll have the full adult summer camp experience as you have a blast with workout classes, classic camp activities, all while leveling up your nutritional knowledge and having some mindset shifts of your own. Click the link below and sign up today. And if you need some support and accountability on your fitness journey, check out our online coaching program too. We pair you with a highly qualified coach who can help take the stress and guesswork out of everything as they create a custom training plan for you. Link for that in the description below too. Now, check out these other videos that we made that YouTube knows you'll love.